Gamers, Pantheon just released and you're wiping and you want to know why that you and your fire team can't beat these bosses, or you need some tips and tricks. Well, I got you covered. First, let's break down what Pantheon surges are for the week. It's Void and Strand Surge, so playing into that using any of your Void Edge Transits or Hammerheads or Commemorations or Retrofit is really going to help you and your team with ad clear and DPS this week. If you don't want to use it, I get it. Strand, Cataphract, other than that, not really using anything else. And also Classy Warfare. Classy Warfare is going to give you a 20% buff when you have ×3 for the fire team, so have 3 people activate their class ability. You'll get 10% at ×1, 15 at 2, and 20 at 3. I know others have been saying that there's different percents on this, but I did the math and that's what I got. So if 2 + 2 is an equals 6, maybe I'm a Titan main and I can't add. Anyways, weapons are subject to change each week if the surges do. So if weapons are suggested what you use this week, I just want to point out that you might not be using them next week, but I would just wanted to give you some tips and tricks for each encounter. So enjoy the guide and roll the footage. So first, starting off with Golgoroth. Yes, this can be a pain because they added some enemies and they added an intrinsic mechanic. While standing in a pool for damaging, one of you will turn into unstable light, and if you don't leave, you're gonna blow your teammates up. So please make sure that you run up to Golgi and get that extra DPS. What they added for an extra mechanic in this encounter is 2 people get that buff now. So when you both go up to Golgi, just call out, hey, I got left or I got right. That way you're standing on the side of him and you both can get the extra damage. Number 2 that they added is there's going to be some yellow knights and a yellow ogre that spawns in this room. So make sure after you clear the wizards, the ogre in the back room dies and the 2 ultra knights die. Those things will hurt. Big thing here is DPS to get a clean damage phase and also have your teammates not die while damaging. I wanted to show you a POV here. This is what it looks like when you have just 2 people pass the gaze back and forth and they never come down with DPS. They can be on ad clearing supers, so when they're not holding the gaze, they can simply throw nades down below or pop a super, throw some hammers down below and keep the ads off the 4 players damaging and get clean damage phases. When they have a sniper on or a linear, whatever you like if you have a Arbalest on, please shoot Golgi in the back and get his gaze, and then pull out your machine gun and shoot those Axion darts. While doing that, you're going to see some Minotaurs spawn to the left of you or behind you. Please kill them with the machine gun when you have some free time, and then you can push up and kill the invisible Minotaurs so your teammates don't get cooked. If the 2 people holding the gaze, one on the porch and one in the main spawn, they just juggle Golgi's gaze back and forth, the 4 players down below have no problem damaging. Recommendations for damage would be tractor cannon. I did put the gaze holders on tractor cannon, but again, they didn't have the machine gun for that ad clear to keep the ads off us, the knights, the phalanxes. I was using a tractor cannon and I was on golden gun. I was using lucky pants. I was doing some swaps, but it was my job to just shoot the tractor cannon, hit my fusion rifle shots, and then use lucky pants when I could. You guys know me, I wasn't really a fan of lucky pants, but it is so strong in this kind of activity, so might as well take advantage of that DPS. So I'll take that one. If you want to use linears and snipers, it's cool, but playing into Void and Strand Surge this week is very important because that's just extra damage. So hopefully you have an edge transit from farming and into the light. You can always go rockets with Galley, but then you risk taking more people off damage down below and having people blow themselves up. With a grenade launcher, you don't really have to spam each pull. You could take your time, hit your shots, that way people don't blow each other up, and rock that Envious so you can have nice full damage rotations with no issues. I would recommend trying to be on DPS supers. If you hit Golgi with like a Pyrogale or certain supers, he does kind of like glitch out, so golden guns is definitely the play. So just have your warlocks and your golden guns DPS down below. Once you get this clean DPS phase down, you should be killing them here in one phase, but if not, rinse and repeat. Moving on to Caretaker, and the biggest change here that I've seen in this encounter is that the acorns that the boss shoots out now spawn in the room while the runners are grabbing the symbols. This puts pressure on them because their pervading darkness gets stacks higher and can slow them down with running. So the 2 people on stun team have the most important job for this encounter. As you see here, I wanted to do the stuns just to show you how easy it was to shoot him in the back and in the face. As soon as he's stunned, please kill the ads that spawn, and you can also let your teammates know that they are spawning and you're not paying attention to the boss. In my free time, I realized when the boss was stunned, I can go up the ramp, help my teammates clear ads, and keep the boss down below. The whole point here is to not let him walk up too far so the runners have enough time to run. DPS is pretty simple on this guy. You can use machine guns, you can use linears, you can use rocket. I mean, use whatever you want. But the big thing here is that you don't over damage the boss on the first 2 plates. The highlighted damage bar of the boss's health is health gated. So what you want to do here is do a lot of damage damage on the first plate, primary on the second, and then have everybody pop their super on that third plate. Make sure you're adding debuff and simply cook this guy. If you do this correctly, you'll be able to kill him on the second floor on about the second plate, so you're skipping the third floor fully. I know that not every team can do this, but I think that people should really practice with their friends. Grand Overture is really good for this because you can just charge it up on the first two plates, maybe DPS with a fusion rifle, and on that third plate, unleash all the volleys. Grenade launchers are fine too. Just calling out your supers like, hey, golden guns on the last plate, thunder crash on the last plate, pyro gale on the last, just making sure. So use a well for the first plate just to edge the boss's health, primary on the second plate, and then full super on the third, and you should get the dub. Want to say something? While doing this voiceover, I'm eating breakfast. So, want a little bacon break? There you go. Moving on to Planet's boss, the two big changes I've seen here is that these flame tornadoes that spawn on these plates hurt. Insta kill you. It's like there's no way of healing them. To avoid these tornadoes on the plate, you definitely want to make sure that your team is ready to kill the drill majors, ball on the four corners, make their call outs, grab their planets, and switch. If you're taking too long, simply get off your plate because a tornado is coming, and don't pick up your planet because it'll start the planetary shift and it might screw your teammates over because it might not be ready. Once you switch all four planets and you make them correctly, a tormentor spawns in the middle of the map. He could be suspended, he could be blinded. So while your teammates are putting the plates in for the middle three to get ready for DPS, your teammates on ad clear could blind these guys and just hold them off until the team's ready to help out. All six of you can start shooting this tormentor at once, break those shoulders, and use snipers and pretty much just insta kill him. If you don't kill the tormentor by the time damage starts, he will despawn. I've seen this happen once. Just wanted to point that out. With damage here, it's just the same as we've done in the raid. Put a well in the middle of the room, touch the plates, 3 2 1 countdown, all damage at once. That way the damage for timer doesn't screw your teammates over and you hit immune golden guns or immune supers. You all want to start attacking them at once. So simply 3 2 1, damage on each plate, and it should be an easy two-phase for you. I would recommend maybe using div, tractor, some sort of debuff to help out with you and your team's DPS. Make sure you're hitting those class abilities to get your ×3 up so that you can get more damage. Nothing really changed here. It's just the ads hurt, the tormentor spawns, and the tornadoes on the plates. So my best advice for that was to kill those majors quickly as possible. Find the planet that's off. Tell your teammate you're ready to switch, grab it and leave, and you should avoid that tornado with no problem. Going into Atraks, the final boss of Pantheon this week. It's a doozy. A lot of teams are going to be going for that juicy one phase, and I wanted to point out what we did in this clip to do that. We had 2 people go upstairs, 4 people stayed downstairs, cleared all the ads, all the servitors, and even killed the tormentor, and then we all 4 took those elevators upstairs. Using for DPS, I would recommend using Parasite to get that ×20 Parasite shot proc, Blade Barrage Star Eater Hunters, Thunder Crash Titans, and on Warlock you can run the big blob Nova Bomb. It does good damage. The main thing here is that when you go upstairs, you all 6 are there. Make sure your scanner's ready. Kill the last servitor. Group up there. Use 3 class abilities. Get your ×3. Get that extra weapon damage. And then 3, 2, 1, shoot. You shoot your Parasite, and then everybody's supers. So it's Parasite then super. Not everybody's going to be able to get the one phase. So I wanted to show you what you do here if you're not confident in that. Send 4 people upstairs. Have them damage all at once. And I stayed down here with my teammate. The only difference is that my teammates upstairs did enough damage to almost push him to final stand. I told my teammate downstairs, hey, use your super and your Parasite shot. I'm just going to use my Parasite. So I called it out. I dodged next to the boss and next to my teammate to get us that weapon damage. Threw my knives to make us radiant, and then I counted it down and we shot our Parasite shot. Go upstairs for final stand. I switched. I told everybody in the team, hey, we don't have Parasites to shoot. Final stand. We don't want to wipe. Switch to Lament. So everybody switches to Lament, and I still have my super for final stand. We stand in this right-hand corner, making sure that we shoot those replications off our head so that the timer doesn't run out. Please make sure when you do come upstairs with that replication from downstairs that the operator shoots it off your head to refresh it. And I simply waited for my scanner to call out final stand. When we all went there, we dodged again, used our class abilities, threw my super, they lamented, and it was GG. Again, it's going to take some teams to practice this, but just remember these 4 bosses will be next week, and it will be Oryx added in after Atraks. So prepare for more of a challenge. We will be -10 power next week instead of -5. But overall, I just wanted to throw these tips out there for these encounters so you and your team can get the dub. I'll make guides on every week they add a new boss. We got Oryx coming up next week. Again, if a rotation change or surges changes, I'll make another guide. And make sure you guys tune in Tuesday stream, Team Clyde versus Team Sweat. We're down 1-0. We're going to try and tie the stakes here, tie it up 1-1, and you guys will have a new emblem to get, so drops will be on, and I'll tell you guys what that emblem is probably on Sunday or Monday. Thanks for watching this guide, and I'll see you guys next time.